We now return to Scams, Schemes, and Scoundrels here on A&E.
Today we live in a world filled with many kinds of media where the truth may be manipulated in very sophisticated ways. We expect sitcoms and adventure stories to be the product of someone's imagination, but the news...
Feeling tired, maybe just a little bit stressed? Well, a visiting New York therapist says he has a roaring good way to chase away those blues. And he's trying it out in East London. Vince Rogers explains.
What exactly do I do then?
Roar.
Just roar.
This reporter thinks he's getting a scoop on a new age social therapy developed in California. He's really getting scammed. The man behind this caper is New York media hoaxer Joey Skaggs. Over the past 25 years, Joey Skaggs has created dozens of fabricated news stories, all disseminated through the mainstream media. He's created hoaxes such as impoverished artists living in water towers in Manhattan, and curing baldness by transplanting scalps from cadavers. He even managed to hoax the game show To Tell the Truth, and invented a story that received international attention, the Fat Squad.
And the Fat Squad consists of a contract that you would take out on yourself to rub out your own fat, a 3-day minimum, $300 a day, plus expenses, and every 8 hours a new commando is with you to make sure that you don't break your diet. And we will physically restrain you with force if necessary. Our commandos take no bribes.
Whoa, wait a minute. No, not here.
Look at those strawberries.
Oh, yeah, look at those strawberries. Come on, let's do this thing.
Martha Wilcox is taking a tough new stand on dieting. No longer alone in a world of temptations, she'll have help staying on her latest. She's hired the Fat Squad.
I sent this out to the news media. It was picked up by the Philadelphia Inquirer and the Washington Post. They totally believed it. Made the wire services. I then went on national television, and it went around the world. Japanese television, German television, Italian television, French television, CNN, they all fell for it. I use the media as a painter would use a canvas. I'm a social-political media satirist. And what I mean by that is I create plausible but non-existent realities that are staged for the media.
Joey Skaggs is convinced that the media's authority and power are not always deserved, and he's made a career out of proving how easy it is to fool them.
I give them what they want, what they're looking for, the hook. And my work is done in a number of stages. The first stage is the hook. That's where I come up with the concept, and then I figure out how to execute that concept, how it's going to work, what I need, and I stage the event.
This is Poplar's very own pride of lions, indulging in their rather peculiar form of group therapy. And of course, they have their own Lion King by the name of Baba Wa Simba. He's flown over from New York to lead the roaring sessions.
And then I document where it goes and who does what with it. I record the process of how the media interprets what I'm doing for their own purposes, what they do with it. And thirdly, I then reveal the truth. And that gets very interesting. And then I document what the media does with the truth. Do they address it? Do they ignore it? Do they trivialize me? Do they treat me like I'm the bad guy? Or am I the person with the message?
I think they're angry because they can see the more serious side of it. That if somebody can hoax them on something that's fairly trivial, then perhaps somebody can hoax them on something much more sinister and more important.
I've been on some shows like a half a dozen times. I fooled CNN, I think, 5 or 6 times. Porterfest, Walk Right, Fat Squad, Bad Guys. It's always amazing to me when sometimes the same crew shows up. You know, a cameraman or a sound person from a previous hoax will show up and say, you know, this place looks familiar. There's a guy here who was making fish condos. Oh, really? And this has happened. I've been on Live at 5 about a half a dozen times. So it's kind of frightening when you think about, you know, how they don't remember anything. They don't care to remember. The story is more important than the truth sometimes. I don't measure my success by how many people I fool, how many newspapers or radio stations or magazines I fool, but how many people I'm able to reach with the message that we are all being fooled.
When will Skaggs strike again? On more than one occasion, he's told reporters that he's perpetrated his last hoax.
I swore that this would be the last one.
Is this the last of your hoaxes?
Oh, sure. I'm not going to do this anymore. I decided that I've had it with hoaxes. Too many people have seen my face. It's going to get really difficult to do this, so I'm going to quit.
Joey Skaggs doesn't break the law, and he doesn't profit from his schemes, but to those he's duped, he's a scoundrel. As someone who makes expert use of the con artist's bag of tricks, Skaggs may make us laugh, but he also wants us to look more carefully at the truth that we're being sold.
Scams, schemes, and scoundrels will continue in a moment.